Scrap Iron Dealers Association. My name is Willetta Wilson, Secretary of TTSIDA. With me this morning is our President, Mr. Alan Ferguson, our Director, Ms. Verna Prudhomme. We also have Mr. Rondell Fields, the President of the Fathers Association, also the Vice President of the TNT Automotive Dealers Association. We also have Mr. Kenny Plaza, who is a former Secretary of TTSIDA. Mr. Plaza has come out of retirement to assist us going forward. I'd now like to invite Mr. Plaza to begin our discussion today.
Yes, good morning to all. All protocols observed. Welcome to our program here this morning. I am Kenny Plaza, as Roletta said, ex-General Secretary of the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association and founding member when it all started back in 2011. I'm here with the association now in the capacity to help the country and this association going forward. My past experience with the association had put me in places where we had extensive dialogue with the past government, and we had reached certain areas where we had intended for recycling to be regulated and updated to first world status. Back in 2011 to now, we have not seen much done, and we're in dire situation at this point in time where the state entities are losing a lot of their property due to vandalism, basically, and vandalism of materials that are sold as scrap. So now, going forward, we would like to sit with the government, continue with those dialogues that we had previously, get this industry regulated, and also let everyone understand the importance of recycling for this nation, because it's not just about supplying employment for the people who hustling on the street, who are technically seen as a nuisance in the industry right now. Some are legitimate, some are not. We want everybody to be regularized. We need clarity in recycling, let everybody understand the importance of recycling now in this country. Because just yesterday, Mr. Faris Alwari had to clean up some drains in Shawaters, showing how difficult it is when plastic and paper gets into these water courses, much less scrap iron. So now, we are here to show the importance of recycling and what the Scrap Iron Dealers Association, in extension, the recyclers of this nation, and their importance in this whole ecosystem. Without further ado, I would put it on to our president, and he will continue from there.
Thank you, Mr. Plaza. So yes, we'll invite our president, Mr. Alan Ferguson, to make his contribution. Press.
Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to everyone who listening us and watching us on all the media. I want to thank my my operation crew, because without them, nothing can take place. So I want to thank them also too. This morning is a morning that I'm not in a fighting mood, but you might more hear me in apologizing mood this morning. Now, the reason for this is that yesterday we had a general meeting where we invite all members and bandmen to be part of what we wanted to send to the government in reference to new regulation for our industry. So we will go through a lot yesterday, and then we as the executive will come up with some ideas to able to allow this industry to run in a proper way. And I know Trinidad and Tobago, I know you is upset because of something taking place in this country. Up to this morning, I would be listening that they're going with a bell from a church. And it's very hurtful to hear these things, that they're going with a bell from a church. So without due, I want to really apologize, because it doesn't matter if someone come off the street and they're not a scrap guy, and they just decided to steal whatever it might be, and they bring it to our yards, or if they want to bring it to our yards and they keep it, it still look bad in our sight, but it look bad for us. So we, as scrap dealers, we have to understand, and we were pointed out yesterday, that a lot of wrong is being taking place in our industry. And a lot of wrong have been taken, acted on people. A lot of people have lost things because of this industry. And this morning, because of what took place yesterday and what we intended to do now, I want to say I humbly apologize to Trinidad and Tobago. And I want them to know that this organization, which help a lot of people, and a lot of people is employed in this industry, who get work because they can't find works nowhere in Trinidad, because if they had bounced up with the law in the past, they weren't able to work no way. But we allow them to work in our industry. We allow anyone, because we have the view that everybody deserves a second chance. So that is why we does give them work in this industry. We have the view that a person, no matter what they have done, they deserve a next chance in life. So that is why this industry is employ them to assist them in whatever they need. And we as an industry, we give them work. People who don't have, people that poor, people that can't find a work no way in Trinidad and Tobago, we assist them by giving them employment. So Trinidad and Tobago, these are your brothers, these are your sisters, these are your people that you also know too. But we have to apologize because they sometimes do things that they ain't supposed to do. And we have to correct the wrong, because all of us is from Trinidad and Tobago. And we cannot go about leaving it just so for not no more longer. So we decided that we will come in some, we will amend some rules for bondmen and for the scrap yards. So we decided that we will work to make sure that this crime being spread out all over Trinidad is something from the past. We decided to put some strong rules in place to make sure that all these thefts that are taking place all around Trinidad, it will be something of the past. I cannot give you the insurance that it will go 100%, but I could tell you what we decided to do to make sure that this theft stop is to do something serious for this industry, to make it very difficult for people to steal and bring things to our yards. And I'm going to say it now. All this set of thing that taking place with scrapyard buying is just a few that involved in the wrong. Majority of the people in the scrap business do it in an honest way. And just a few is causing a lot of problem for us. And because of that, we will have to do something to make sure that these things don't take place again in our country and in our industry. So we decided was to sit down yesterday and put some serious rules also for the vanmen and make sure that we have a strong data system in place to make sure that these things will be captured easy if it's been done. So we will be able to know who are the people doing things that they ain't supposed to do in this industry. But I want to say today, we decided that this weekend here, we will go hard and work hard and make a marathon run to make sure that we draw out some things that we will able to give the government and work with the government and continue to work with the government to make sure that the regulation and the new policy that will be able to stop this crime, to stop this theft that's taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. So we decided that we will work with the government. Whichever team they put to work with us, we will work with them to make sure that this industry do something good. And that is why we bring in Mr. Fields, because their industry had a similar look at what we have been getting right now. So we decided to bring in Mr. Seals to able to help us and assist us in what taking place in our industry. And he have the experience to work with us, and that's why we decided to bring him in. We decided also that the last time this industry had shut down, Mr. Kenny Plaza had worked with me to make sure that we work and bring back this industry and running. So that is why I choose also to bring Kenny to work with me. And then we will probably have some other people coming in to assist us to work in this industry to make sure that we get it right. Because it's hurting a lot of business people and it's hurting a lot of people. So we decided that we as an industry have to work hard and go a marathon run to able to make sure that all these steps that are taking place in this industry has stopped. And Trinidad and Tobago, I understand it, and I know, but I have a very love for this industry. I have a very love for this industry. I will put my life to work hard for this industry to make sure that we do the correct things, and this hate remove away, and people could understand that this industry employs thousands of people. And it's very hard for us to leave it alone and see this industry collapse. We cannot do that. Now, with some people don't care what happened in this industry. You know why? They don't care, but it's just a handful. It's just a handful of people who involved in this industry don't care nothing what take place in this industry. They don't care if somebody thief from whoever it might be. And that is why we will work with the government to make sure that these people is either they ship out or they work in a way that it's supposed to be correct. We will work with the government to make sure that this step be a thing of the past. So that is why we say we want to bring in people to assist us, because we don't have all the necessary tools to able to work. I need to get help. And that is why I bring in these brothers, I could say, to assist me in what I'm doing. And I want to thank them for taking my offer. I want to thank them for taking my offer, because we're in a position in this country today that is not easy. It's not easy. And I keep saying, this industry is the last industry that poor people could look at to get a little dollar. And that is why we face this challenge that we have today. It's because this industry is an industry that anybody could come out the street. And that is why we want to stop that a little bit. Because when you come off the street And we don't care what you is. You just come out the street and just go in a van and just go and tease people thing, and then we get the blame. So that is what we want to stop. Whilst we welcome people coming in this industry, we also have to understand that you have to do it the correct way. And we have no problem that new people come in the industry, but just do it the correct way and be honest. Not this set of stealing that you see taking place all over the world, all over Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinidad and Tobago, I give you the insurance that me as the president, I will work with the government, work with whichever team the government put to work with us to make sure. I was told, and I think it's what I was told, that the meeting will take place next week. I was told that the meeting will take place next week. We don't have a date, but I get some insurance that the meeting will take place next week. So I want to thank them in front for coming to meet with us, that we could able to stretch out this problem that this industry have. I want to thank you again, and when the other speaker speaks, any question from the media, we will take it. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. President. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Fields to make his contribution.
Good morning, everyone. All protocols observed. And I'm totally honored to be invited to be a part of this. I listened to Mr. Ferguson speak, I listened to Mr. Plaza speak, and I could hear the genuine passion. And I must commend you all at TTSIDA before anything else for your admission that something seems to be going astray and your commitment to correct it. And this reminds me, and that's why I'm glad for the opportunity to assist in this regard, because our industry in the used car industry faced something similar years ago, a few bad apples making it bad for everybody else. So I understand the challenges that this organization is facing and will face. I understand the mandate before them to now look at the methodology going forward that they need to suggest to the government. They now need to look at crafting policy. They now need to look at making impartial bylaws and laws that possibly the van guys will have to operate by, the yards will have to operate by, and now being made abreast of a lot of the issues that they face. Even I, as a citizen, who may have had the wrong impression and cast all the blame and aspersion upon the scrap iron dealers, now have a better understanding that there's other parameters to these things, other people involved. They're not the ones going out to steal it. Sometimes they're in a complicated scenario as well to determine what is stolen, what is legitimate as well. So it is a task. However, seeing this executive and the way you all are doing things just for the few days I've been here, I mean, I'm very impressed, and I think that you all have the competence and you all have the capability to see it through. You all have my commitment in every way, and I appeal to the nation. We must be forgiving. We must be understanding, because this association, not only association, but this industry assists society. Not only when it comes to disposal, I could also talk about the other organization in which I'm involved in and possibly better known for, the Fathers Association. When I see so many men here, I know 90% of them have children. I understand that is giving them an opportunity to earn, giving them an opportunity to provide. And in that regard, I am totally appreciative of an industry like this. It is the same thing as I said within our foreign use industry. We employ the unemployable, the people who don't need to get passes, and that is why I can see the connectivity between the organization here, TTSIDA, and even the things that I have done. Because our industry as well, I'm a used car dealer myself, and I understand we are the ones that most time employ the people who have challenges to get jobs. So, an appeal also to the persons who might be pillaging or plumaging or going through the communities and doing the wrong things, casting a bad imagery on the organization and the industry itself. I appeal to you, and a lot of you all are young persons. I work with a lot of young people as well, and most of the times when they hold some people are very young people doing these things, I reach out to you. I ask you to behave yourself in a better manner than that. this is an opportunity now. If you want to become involved, I guess, in the scrap iron industry, you have a little van for you to do things the right way. And this is now the mandate before TTSIDA. As I said, I tip my hats out to you guys for first more so your admission and then your commitment to now go out and do the right thing, put the right regulations in place so that the people of Trinidad and Tobago could understand the value of an industry like yours. You all have my total support, and once again, I reach out to Trinidad and Tobago for a spirit of forgiveness more than anything else. As I said, I myself now have a better understanding of someone before who thought this was solely the responsibility of the scrap iron dealers. So as I said, you have my commitment. Definitely going forward, I will go with you guys. Then you have the meetings to make sure that any regulation that must come in place must be one that is impartial, giving everyone a fair chance to be able to grow, to thrive, to prosper, creating new opportunity for persons who want to have new opportunity and to keep your industry going. So thanks again. I must tip my hats off to you, President Mr. Alan Ferguson, and your executive team. As I said, I am honored to be invited to be a part of this team to help you all go forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Field, for your kind words. We'd now like to ask if there are any questions from members of the media. Anyone would like to make any contribution?
How I have to say, thank Mr. Steels again for being part, coming to assist us and help us to able to get out of this, because I think this is a big task. And I know that it have some people in this industry, they just don't care. But I will telling you, majority of the people, they care because they employ a lot of people in the yards, in the scrap yards, and a lot of van people who go out with the van. They employ a lot of people also to working in the vans and doing a lot of different cleaning of the material and different things to able for this industry. This industry also, all the trailers, the containers that leave our yards and go to the port, also the people with the shipping companies, all of them is involved too. So it employ a lot of people in this industry, that Trinidad and Tobago. If you didn't know, it does employ a lot of people. So we, as the executive of the association, we must have to save this industry in such a way. Nicole, any questions?
No, nothing.
All right. You have any questions for us? No. All right. Well, I will allow the secretary to wrap it up and for us to move on.
All right. I'd like to thank everyone for hearing this morning. And I'd like to thank these two gentlemen for coming on board to help us in this task. As usual, stay connected with TTSIDA on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok pages. Thank you and have a good week.